Hello, hello. I'm so excited. It looks like everyone is jumping on. Give it a couple more seconds and then we're going to dive on in. I would love it if you guys want to drop in the chat where you're from. Let's get to know each other a little bit more and then we'll jump right on in. Okay, guys, today we are talking all about Instagram Reels and how you can use these to grow your business. Oh, we have somebody from South Carolina, and it looks like you're by the beach. Jealous of that. Before we dive into all the good stuff, I want to take some time and introduce myself. We're going to be spending the next couple of minutes together, and I want us to become friends. So I am Emily. I'm one of the co-founders behind Let's Get Social Agency. We've leveraged social media in the real estate world to help our clients close more than $10 million in sales this last month. The reason that we decided to bottle up our know-how and put it out into the world is because we see real estate agents struggle time and time again with this one problem. They build a really strong referral business, but they're starting to miss out on new business because they're not showing up on social media. We're so excited to help you start using social media to build brand awareness, land new clients, and create a rinse and repeat marketing solution for your new listings. After this training, we would love to connect with you over on Instagram. You can find us at Let's Get Social Agency, as well as Selling Social. Today's training is sponsored by Revolution Mortgage. Revolution Mortgage is a nationwide lender that offers lower rates and payments for refinancing and home purchase loans. They leverage technology to boost efficiencies in the loan process to give you a lower rate, faster closing, and a brand experience that's ridiculously amazing. They're founded in Columbus, Ohio, but they have brick and mortar offices nationwide. We would love for you to connect with them as well. If you have any questions on how you can work together, feel free to send them an email at marketing@revolutionmortgage.com. You also can head on over to their website, revolutionmortgage.com, and connect with them on Instagram, and that is also Revolution Mortgage. So I'm going to jump into the chat really quick, and I want to see where everyone else is from now that you guys know about us. Wow, we got some Columbus, some Texas, South Carolina. We got 2 Myrtle Beach. I'm jealous, you guys. That sounds amazing. Okay, so what does today have in store for us? Well, today we're going to be diving into Instagram Reels. We're going to talk a lot about how to make Instagram Reels, what should go into them, and what are the benefits of creating Instagram Reels. Yes, it's the hot new thing on Instagram, but we want to get into the nitty-gritty of what the benefits truly are and how you can use these Reels to start growing your presence and business on Instagram. Now, let me know in the chat if anyone has felt this before or is currently feeling this. You feel like you're starting to miss out on some business because there's not a clear marketing plan in place. You're sometimes showing up on Instagram, sometimes showing up on Facebook, but it's just really spur of the moment. This happened with one of our friends, Christine. She's been a realtor here in Columbus for the last 8 years, and she built a really strong referral business. In fact, she was actually never on social media. And then she got that call. She got that call that nobody wants to get. And it was one of her friends called her and said, "I'm so sorry. You're going to see that my house was just listed with a different agent. I honestly forgot you were a realtor." So she had that gut-wrenching feeling, and she realized she needed to have a plan. And so that is when she started implementing Instagram Reels. She started showing up on Instagram and really making sure that she was the go-to realtor inside of her market. Well, if you've ever felt that way before, get excited because today we're going to talk through how you can start using Instagram Reels to skyrocket your business and your brand awareness. and how to create content that will have you showing up in front of potential new clients day after day. And they are cheering, excited to see your content. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Say hello to your new Instagram best friend, and that is Reels. So what is an Instagram Reel? Instagram Reels allows you to create 15-second videos with short audio clips. It can either be a voiceover or it can be some music from the actual app itself. And it gives users that real feeling. Users can scroll really endlessly, and it's actually kind of addictive, through the short video content. And all of the content pops up based on their likes, who they're following, who follows them, and who they're interacting with on the app itself. Now, one of the most common questions we have been getting now that Instagram Reels are out, they are hot, and everyone wants to be on it, is why are Instagram Reels better than Instagram Stories? Are they better? And how should I be treating them differently? So even though they kind of sound a lot like each other, they're these little short, quick videos, there are some really important differences that I want to make sure we iron out before we jump into the nitty-gritty of creating these Reels. So Reels does offer different types of editing tools within the Instagram app. You can edit the video, you can speed up the video, you can add text, and you can add songs. It also allows you to have really clear transitions. Reels are shared on the Explore page of Instagram. So that alone is a huge difference compared to Stories, where Instagram Stories really, you only see, well, maybe you see if you're lucky, who knows the Instagram algorithm, but you really only see the stories of people that you're following. Well, Reels is cutting through all of that, and you're now able to start popping up in searches and the Explore page. And I'd say the biggest difference between Instagram Reels versus Stories is the amount of voiceover and interaction and really creating a commercial that you can do with Reels. Okay, so now that we have the difference out of the way, let's jump into what a Reel is. So we like to think of Instagram Reels as a mini commercial for your brand. Whether you have a new home that's being listed, or you have a free resource or training that's coming up, think of these as 15 little second commercials, and you're getting people excited about your offering. Why should you create Reels? I know that there's probably some of you who are sitting there and you're like, it's enough for me to just show up on my Instagram feed. It's enough for me to try and get on stories once a week, once a month. Why the heck do I need to now create Reels? This just sounds like a whole another piece of material that I don't even know if I have the time for. Well, right now, the reason why you should be showing up on Reels is because they are one of the easiest and fastest ways to show up in front of your ideal clients. Instagram is pushing Reels hard, and they are pushing them fast. They are putting them in front of way more people than they are IGTV, your actual posts themselves. And at the end of the day, they help you really bring more life to your brand. And that's exciting because people buy and they do business with those that they know, they like, and they trust. And so Reels allows you to really bridge that gap in a way that stories and longer form video hasn't really allowed some people to do yet. So this is an example over on the right-hand side of what it looks like when you are creating a Reel. We're going to walk through the process of actually creating a Reel, but as you can see, from the time you create it to the center, that is showing up on the Explore page, and then all the way on the right-hand side, once you start creating Reels, you have this whole nother tab on your profile. So when somebody finds your Reel in the Explore, they now have the option to just binge through all of the Reels that you have created. Okay, so we know the benefits. We know why we should be creating reels. Let's talk about how you actually create a reel. It can feel a little bit confusing at first as to where this feature is located. But when you're inside of the Instagram app, you're gonna just scroll over like you would to create an Instagram story, and you're gonna see reels at the bottom of the Instagram camera. So you're gonna see that option there. And then from there, you either have the ability to upload any video that's already been created, or you can start recording right then and there. Once you decide on the video, and remember, we only have 15 seconds. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of people kind of piecing together maybe different videos from a long form home tour and just kind of showing the highlights, thinking of it again as a commercial and a highlight reel for your potential buyers and sellers. You'll see all these editing tools. You can adjust the length of the video, and then you also can pick through their entire library of music. We want to make sure we're adding music. It grabs people's attention, especially when they're already searching through reels and they have the volume up. We want to have a song that's going to capture them right away. Another thing you can do, which is, in my opinion, one of the best features of reels, is you can see over on the right-hand side, you can actually pick what you want your cover image to be. Now, inside of this cover image, we want it to be something that grabs somebody's attention. And that can either be done by pulling from the video itself, as you see in the center, but you also can see that we have the ability to upload photos as the cover image. So if you have a little bit extra time, or you're feeling a little creative, you can go ahead and create a cover, whether it is a new listing, you want to highlight a property you just sold. Just putting some text over that cover image is really going to allow people right away to know what they're about to watch. So creating reels are very simple once you kind of get into the flow of it. Just from the time of being able to upload your own video that's already been created, you add the text, you add the music, and you are ready to go. Another big thing that I want to point out is when you are creating these reels, you want to have them post to your profile. When they're posting to your profile, they're also going to be showing up on the feed of people who are following you. They will show up in the reels, and they will show up inside of the Explore. So the more places we can kind of hit people with the reels, the more views we're going to get, and the more chances we have of ranking higher inside of the Explore page. Okay, so we just covered a lot about reels. We talked about what they are, why you should be doing them, and how to create one. Now, in order to make sure that our reels are A, ranking, B, people are engaging with them, we really want to walk through these 3 steps of building brand awareness through Instagram Reels. The first one is we want to provide value. How can you use Reels to provide value for your current clients and your current followers? Free information. This can be something as simple as a quick home tour. It can also be something as simple as providing mortgage tips, or maybe you have some frequently asked questions. Free information that you wish you could tell thousands of people, that's what we want to put into a reel. And shareable content. Creating content that is shareable really positions you as a thought leader. Some examples of shareable content, or what we're seeing people share right now, is free information, humor, and some examples that we pulled where maybe people ask you what should they be looking for in a home inspection, and using those frequently asked questions to create a reel. And then that's something that when somebody sees it, they send it to their friend who's buying a new home, and you've just become a thought leader in your industry. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So what does it actually mean to create value when it comes to reels? How can you use reels to create value for your current sellers? How can you use reels to position yourself as the go-to real estate agent in your market? Now, I love this example over on the right-hand side. This was a realtor, and this reel popped up for us. And she was walking people through some different ways to win that home, to win your dream home. And so as you can see, she's used some text and she's just giving people ideas. Well, this has become a really popular reel because it's relatable and it's something that a lot of people are going through right now. So she's creating free value for not only her followers, but for other people who are going to see her content. Free information. If you guys haven't kind of caught on to what I'm saying here, people love free stuff. So how can we use what we already have, which is our knowledge, and maybe some videos we've already had created to really bridge that gap for them? And so free information, using Reels as a way for people to see behind the scenes of what it's like to work with you. What can they expect if you are their realtor, if you are their loan officer? What does that look like? And provide them with easy to consume information. At the end of the day, we know we want the information, but we don't want to have to think that hard about it. So let's make it engaging and easy. Some examples of really providing that free information is home inspection tips, some virtual open homes in 15 seconds. And if you are receiving frequently asked questions, this is a great place to start kind of doing a quick little series around those questions. I love this example on the right-hand side. They do an amazing job of getting people excited about their new properties that are about to be listed. So they show you a really quick 15-second clip of this entire luxury property, and I don't even live where they live, so I'm like, can I get on the next flight? This home looks amazing. And so that's a great way of just adding value, not only to the people who are following them, but that's a really big value add for their sellers. And the third way is creating shareable content. The main goal with Reels is to not only create value for the people who are currently following you, but to create so much value that they cannot help but share it. This type of content is going to get you in front of a larger audience fast. And that's what we want to do. We want to use a feature that Instagram is already pushing really hard, and we want to leverage it to get in front of the right people and a bigger audience faster. This is another really great example. This is the same brand as earlier, and they are also using Reels to show you their new properties that have just gone up. So they're getting you excited with a short little clip of this is coming soon, and then once it is actually listed, they have it up. Okay, guys, so once again, we know what a reel is, why we need to do it, and we have our best practices for really growing that brand awareness. And now let's talk about the best practices of reels themselves. What's working and how can we leverage those to make sure we are showing up in front of that audience over and over again. So the really exciting thing about reels is that it is filling that gap of high quality content that's still informal, but has a longer shelf life than 24 hours. So a lot of the times when we're putting out Instagram posts, we're putting out IGTVs, we're doing stories, after 24 hours, no longer seem to see that our impressions are growing, we're not really receiving any more likes, and it almost feels like the video or the content has died. It had its 24 hours of glory, and now it's done. Well, with Reels, because there's not a huge amount of people who are creating Reels at this moment, they're lasting way longer than 24 hours. We've seen up to this point, Reels getting traction for up to a week. And that's organic traction. That's organic views, organic impressions and shares. And that is powerful when you are talking about a platform that up until this point, you really had to pay to play. So now that we know that if we're creating this content, it will live for a week, how do we make sure that it's the right content? And so something when it comes to the best practices is if we can start posting 1 to 3 videos a week, then we're gonna start showing up to Instagram as a player in this space. Focus on that shareable content, whether it's tips, a beautiful home that's coming to the market that people can't help but share and save, and they're excited to know when it's finally listed. And we also want to focus on hashtags. So hashtags are just as important for Reels as they are for your posts, your videos. They will have you showing up inside of searches, and that's where the magic happens. We also want to start creating captions that convert. So what does this mean? This means that we want to be using that caption as a space to tell people, A, when is this property going to be listed? More details, how can they find out more? You just really want to have that call to action and that what we like to call like the meat inside of that caption. So one of the reasons why we are really focused on making sure that we're using hashtags inside of Reels is because Reels sit on the Explore page. As you can see this example on the right-hand side, when you search a specific hashtag, if people are creating Reels and then they're adding those hashtags into either the caption or the first comment, that's going to show up here on the left-hand side. You can see an example. We did a quick real estate marketing search, and that was a Reel that popped up on the left-hand side. And those are along with, all of the top performing images as well. And so why is it important for us to be showing up on the Explore page, and why do we want this to be a focus? We really want to focus on this because more than 50% of Instagram accounts use this Explore page month over month. That's a really big number. And if your Reel is shown on this page, you have a huge chance to expose your brand to new followers and new clients. And so how do we show up on that Explore page? We go back to really the basics of Instagram. We're going to make sure we're using the right hashtags and create shareable content. The more that people interact with your Reel, whether it's viewing it, liking it, commenting it, saving it for later, because that's also another feature, or sending it to a friend, that's just going to help you show up higher in that Explore. Creating educational content is a great way to really dive into the creation of Reels and creating short, sweet, and easy to follow videos. At the end of the day, the ones and the videos that we're seeing that are performing way better than any of the rest, they're funny, they're short, and they are easy to follow. So let's dive into a couple of ways that you can start utilizing Reels and incorporating them into your current marketing strategy. The first way is to create authentic content that resonates with your audience. We really like to bring up a lot, what are your frequently asked questions? Because if one person is asking you this, whether they're a new home buyer, a new seller, it's very high chance that a lot of people have this question. If you can start using these frequently asked questions to create video, well, that is free information that's educational, is informative, and people want to share it. So now it's become a shareable piece of content. We also just want to share educational content. What do you wish you could tell all of your clients at once? So when we start to kind of think through these different questions we're being asked, or maybe we're receiving the same emails or the same texts asking us over and over again these same questions, we can start creating video content of this, and this will help you show up and become the thought leader in your market. And then use this as a place to showcase properties, whether you have something that is about to go to the market, something that just got sold, or something that just got listed. This is an amazing way to really showcase those new properties. And then we pulled together some ideas for you guys when it comes to how you can use Reels inside of the real estate market. So here are a few ideas and what we're seeing that is really popular right now. So tease out some sneak peeks of new listings. How can you make your followers laugh? Maybe it's a spin on virtual home tours. Maybe you're doing a little comic skit on how much you're sanitizing the homes before people come in for an in-person home tour. Just thinking of some ways that you can make people laugh. We are seeing people are using Reels as a way to kind of disconnect from the world, and they are going after humor. and provide tips for new home buyers. We all know they have a lot of questions. They really do. And if there's a way that you can kind of start to fill in the market where maybe some other agents inside of your market aren't showing up on social media, but first-time home buyers, the majority are millennials and they are on Instagram. If you can kind of fill that gap and start showing up in front of them, especially with tips that makes the whole process seem way less scary, then once again, you've become that thought leader. And create a fun series, something that people know that they are going to be able to expect and see every Monday or every Friday. Some series would be a Mortgage Monday, giving some mortgage tips, making the whole process seem fun and less intimidating. And a Love It or Leave It series. Maybe you have some really unique homes, you have some out-of-the-box styling, and just use this series as a way to pull your audience, get them engaged. Are they loving it? Would they rather not have it? And it's just a fun way for them to connect with you. Through all of these ideas and the copy that we're writing for the captions, ask questions. Encourage people to drop a comment, because when they're dropping a comment, that helps your engagement, but it also helps you really get to know them. It helps you get to know who your client looks like on Instagram. Okay, guys, that was a lot of information. We like to pack it all in and make sure that your time is being used wisely. So I would love to hear how you're feeling. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the comment section. I'd love to hear what stood out to you the most. We covered a lot. Maybe if there's an area that you still have some questions about and what you're excited for when it comes to Reels. So we covered how to make Reels, what should go into a Reel, what are the benefits of creating Reels, and how you can use them to grow your business and really show up. So I'd love it if you drop in those comments what stood out to you. Maybe it was something you didn't know about Reels or something that you're really excited to dive a little deeper into. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and kind of look through on my end. We got somebody from San Antonio. Nice. When I've tried to make a Reel on our business page, it won't let me add music. Do you have any insight? Yes. So it is being rolled out later to business accounts, but there is a way around this. What you simply need to do is go ahead and delete your Instagram account, and then you're going to download a VPN app. Essentially what we're doing is we're downloading a VPN app and then clicking on United States. And I'm really happy after this training to also send you guys a tutorial on how to do that. But you're essentially going around Instagram and you then re-upload your Instagram app and you have the VPN app on your phone and all of a sudden you have music. That's either the kind of the second step, and then the first step would be to really walk through. You're going to delete your account, re-upload it, and make sure it's the newest version. So much good stuff here. It looks like you're recording the session. Yeah, we are recording this, so you'll be able to reference this later, which is great. I know there's a lot of information that's been packed inside of here, and so we're going to be recording this and sending it out after. So like we said, we covered so much when it comes to Instagram Reels. It's a small feature of Instagram that's going to have a powerful impact on your business. Now, I know a lot of people could be sitting there and you're thinking, wow, okay, so I show up on Instagram Reels, I show up on Instagram Stories, and now I need to produce content for my feed and my Facebook. And all of that can feel so overwhelming. And as Let's Get Social, we understand the power of using social media to stand out in the real estate world. We also understand how time-consuming and expensive it can be to hire someone and start building this social media presence as an agent, which is why I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Selling Social. If there was a way that you could have industry-specific content at your fingertips that's ready for you to post on social media weekly, and daily, keeping you in front of your ideal clients, that's something you guys would want to learn more about, right? Well, with Selling Social, our team handles your copy, we handle your content, your hashtags, and your strategy. All you simply have to do is copy, paste, and upload. With Selling Social, this is a great example of what our September calendar looks like. You get about 100 new templates every single month. Our team builds out all of the copy. You simply copy it and you can upload it into Planoly. We walk you through all of the steps to really schedule out a month of content in an hour. That's all it takes because we've done everything on our end. And as a special offer for the first 5 people who sign up today for Selling Social, you'll also receive customizable Instagram highlight templates, as well as our team will personally go into all of your social media accounts and make sure they're optimized so you show up in front of the right people. So Selling Social is an amazing way to have fresh, relevant, and new content every single month. Well, friends, now that we've went deep with Instagram Reels, I would love to answer all of your questions that you have, whether it's about Reels, using the platform, or maybe any best practices. The remainder of this time is yours to be able to drop all of your questions inside. Oh, it looks like somebody's going to be on our Pinterest call as well. That's awesome, Brett. I'm excited to see you there. Absolutely, Terry. Thank you so much for taking the time to jump on this training. I'm glad that you got a lot of ideas out of it. And if you guys have any questions that are popping up, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll spend the next couple of minutes diving through those. Like I said, Reels are powerful. They're a really amazing way for you to show up in front of your ideal audience, and people are binging them like no other right now. And if you have any questions about Selling Social, you can also drop those in there as well. Darren, that's a great question. The best day and time to post on Facebook. So this actually looks a little bit different for each person. There used to be this general rule, always post at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. And that's really not accurate anymore. What we want to do is we want to dive into your Facebook analytics. So you want to go into your Facebook page and dive into the analytics and insights portion. This is actually going to tell you when people who are following you are on Facebook. We want to capitalize when your followers are scrolling and when they're on so that then they can reshare your content. So it is going to look different for somebody who is on the East Coast versus the West Coast and just all those time changes. But I mean, consistently, we are seeing that noon, 1 p.m. kind of across the board is a hot time because people are on their lunch. But if you want to get even more specific, I cannot encourage you enough to see when people are actually active when it comes to your page itself. That's a great question. Do you have any more questions? Anything that is like tripping you up when it comes to Reels? We are going to be sending out this recording, and we're also I'm going to include a link inside of that email with the tutorial on how to get access to the music feature as a business account. Because like I said, there are a couple steps. We actually had to go through it with our Let's Get Social account, and a lot of it is simply making sure that your account is completely updated. Awesome, guys. Well, I want to make sure that if anyone else, don't be shy, drop those questions in. We've got you covered, and that was a great Facebook one. Something else that we're also seeing with Reels is the more you can show up, the better. So if you have a team that is creating video content for you when it comes to new listings, I cannot encourage you enough to utilize those and create these short clips. 1 to 3 times a week is great. We've seen some accounts who are creating 1 reel a day. That can definitely feel very overwhelming, but the more you can show up, the more your content is going to start ranking. And that's what we all want. We want to rank in front of the right people. Can you post TikTok and Reels together? Yes, you can. At the beginning, Instagram has updated a lot of its editing features, and so Reels are now easier to edit inside of. But at the beginning, a lot of people were actually creating Reels inside of TikTok and then transferring it over to Instagram. What I would suggest is if you want to create your Reels inside of TikTok, when you create the TikTok video, save it to your iPhone as a live photo. That's going to eliminate that big logo being in the way. So you save it and download it as a live video. Then you pull up your photos, you go to that live video, and you hit export, and you can actually export it as a video. And so now, instead of having these huge logos at the top and the bottom, you don't have a logo. And so then it looks like you've made it in Reels. And I think it's just a better experience for users who are following you. But you can absolutely post them together, and you can actually just use the same content. Yeah, live videos. I know, it's a hack that has changed, I feel like, the whole Reels game. That was an awesome question. Okay, guys, well, there's not any more questions. I know you guys are busy. You have a lot to get out there and start selling, so I won't take up any more of your time.